Hey everyone, Amanda here, and this is another DBT video, the continuation from Handout, General Handout 5. This would be page 2, and it looks like this. Okay. Alright, so an invalidating social environment can make it hard to regulate emotions. An invalidating environment doesn't seem to understand your emotions. It tells you your emotions are invalid, weird, wrong, or bad. It often ignores your emotional reactions and does nothing to help you. It may say things like, don't be such a baby, quit your blubbering, quit being such a chicken and just solve the problem, or normal people don't get this frustrated. People who invalidate are often doing the best that they can. They may not know how to validate or how important it is to validate, or they may be afraid that if they validate your emotions, you will get more emotional, not less. They may be under high stress or time pressure, or they may have too few resources themselves. There may be just a poor fit between you and your social environment. You may be a tulip in a rose garden. Okay, so I think that's very important information to understand about whatever is in your environment, however your environment is structured, has an effect on you, whether it's positive or negative. So if you're in an invalidating environment and you hear these things, you experience these things of people telling you what you feel is wrong and that kind of thing, like the things that they said for like normal people don't get this frustrated. What does that even mean? It's important to understand what kind of environment you put yourself in. What is it like and how does it affect you? And it's also important to be able to look, try to put yourself in the other person's shoes and try to see where they might be coming from, when it says, they're doing the best they can. So maybe they don't know how, maybe they never had that in their life, so they don't treat people that way. I mean, you never know what's going on with somebody else, but it's good to have this in mind so you can understand your own environment and, understand what's going on and what you can do to change it, to make it more effective and more validating. Okay, so an ineffective social environment is a big problem when you want to learn to regulate your emotions and actions. Your environment may reinforce out of control emotions and actions. If people give in when you get out of control, it will be hard for you to get in control. If others command you to change, but don't coach you on how to do this, it will be hard to keep on trying to change. Okay, so we'll take kids, for example. If people give in when you get out of control, it will be hard for you to get in control. So, with children, if say you go to, a store and your child or children start acting up and they're not listening, they're misbehaving, being disrespectful, crying, carrying on, whatever it is that they're doing. And the person in charge decides, okay, well, I'm just going to give these kids what they want to shut them up. So they stop. That teaches that child or the children that if they act out of control, they can get whatever they want because people will give in. And that is an unhealthy way to deal with your emotions, because as an adult, acting that way usually doesn't get you what you want because people don't want to hear it. Maybe in some instances it does, but it's really never a good outcome and it's never good for that person. So if you handle your emotions by freaking out or causing a scene or whatever, it's just going to reinforce that negative behavior. And you're not going to be able to regulate in a more healthy way without learning skills. So, it's just an example of a way that, behavior can lead to out of control emotions and actions. Okay, so if others command you to change but don't coach you on how to do this, it will be hard to keep on trying to change. I understand that. I understand when someone tells you to do something and you have no idea how to do it. You don't know where to start. You have no clue. And the only thing that people say to you is, you just need to get over it, or you need to forgive that person, or you need to do this, you need to do that, but you don't know how. And I'll be like, well, how do you do that? How do you forgive? What is step number one? Where should I start? How can I work through this process? And no one has ever been able to tell me how, really. It's just general things like learning to deal with your emotions. They don't really know. So, maybe they just have never learned it. I don't know if there is a way. I have no idea. But it's just an example of people saying to do something, but they have no idea on how that can be done. No idea at all, other than vague generalizations. So I understand that. Okay, so the last box. It's the transactions that count between the person and the social environment. Biology and the social environment influence the person. The person reciprocates and influences his or her social environment. The social environment reciprocates and influences the person, and so on and so on. And that is extremely true. It is extremely true. Those are factual statements, in my opinion. Because you are like a product of your environment, and your environment is a product of you. Everything reflects each other. Everything reciprocates from each other. Everything, bounces off each other. It works together. So it's always a projection of you. And it's in your projection of it. It's interesting. Okay, so that is the end of general handout number 5. There's a couple more of these general handouts that I want to do in future videos. So I just want to get it out there so the basic information for DBT is, in your minds. All right, thank you for watching. I will put the information in the description box, as I always do. And this is not my information. It's from Marsha Linehan. So I'm just putting it out here for, educational purposes. Okay, thank you for watching. I love you all. I hope you all are taking care of yourselves, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, guys.